Warning. Warning. The following video contains mature content not suitable for children or the easily offended. Please keep this in mind when watching. Thank you and please enjoy.
Hades is an isometric hack-and-slash roguelike developed and published by Supergiant Games. You most likely know Supergiant from their other amazing titles such as Bastion and Pyre. First unveiled at the Game Awards in 2018, it was initially released as an early access timed exclusive to the Epic Games Store before coming to Steam in 2019. On the 17th of September 2020, the game saw its full release to overwhelming positive praise from critics and players. So, what the frick is Hades?
Family. Death is your only family. Death and I. Best to get accustomed to the both of us.
Our story begins with a young man jumping down into Tartarus. This is Zagreus, and he is our heart boy protagonist trying to escape from the underworld. After a fight, you meet Athena, first of the many Olympian gods trying to help you escape, and she grants you a boon. You progress further and further, gaining more buffs while meeting with more gods and even the ever-charming Charon. Eventually, unless you're some godlike player from the get-go, you'll die and get sent back home to the House of Hades. Here you can get made fun of by Hypnos, chat with Achilles, get accosted by your father, talk with Night herself, and give scritches to best boy Cerberus.
Best game ever.
Now you need to pick yourself up and begin your escape once again. No matter how many times it takes, you will make it to the surface. Now the storyline is very non-linear, as is the nature of a roguelike. It never really deviates from the main goal of escaping, and it ties in extremely well with the gameplay. Characters will comment on your deaths, your weapon of choice, which boons you have, and how far you managed to get. Runs are almost like mini stories that all connect together into the main narrative, and each player can have a unique experience. The cast is magnificent, and it's not just because everyone is extremely attractive, and...
Eb? Earth to Eb.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Zagreus has this soft-spoken intensity to him. While friendly even with those who are tasked to stop him, he also never wavers from his goal. His determination matches that of the players. The large cast of supporting characters all have their place in the story. From Nyx and her attempts to help Zagreus from the shadows, to Thanatos coming to aid you in battle while berating you for your actions. There are some subplots planted throughout the game that you can work through while playing the main game, such as being a mediator between Orpheus and Eurydice. The various gods you encounter range from the bombastic to the stern, and while you only get to interact with them in small bursts, they all have enough personality to be memorable. Even some of the bosses have so much dialogue and interpersonal relationships, like the three Fury sisters. Thanks for the input, Tisiphone. I don't want to go too in-depth with the cast, as that will dip too far into spoiler territory, but I urge you to talk with everyone, as this is the best way to experience the story. Hades' gameplay is fast, frantic, fun, and incredibly difficult at times. So as stated in the story segment, the main aim is to escape. And to do that, you need to fight your way through randomized room after randomized room while ascending further up the depths of the underworld. Each time you clear a room, you'll be given a reward in the form of a boon, weapon enhancement, nectar, health increase, darkness, treasure, chthonic keys, or money.
Also palms of power. Eb forgot to write it in the script.
You can see what the next room's reward will be, and sometimes you'll need need to choose between multiple rooms. At the end of each area, you'll encounter a boss fight. These are tough challenges that really test your skills and how you use your newfound abilities. What's really great is that some of these bosses have variations that switch around to each run, making the repeated playthroughs less monotonous. Beating the boss will reward you with special items and will let you progress further on. The game's combat is easy to grasp and allows for a lot of customization. To begin, let's talk Infernal Arms.
Stygius.
This sword is a good beginner weapon as it has a great balance of speed and power with an easy to use 3-hit combo.
Coronat.
This powerful bow is great if you don't want to be in the thick of it, but takes some getting used to as you need to time your shots right to get the most out of it.
Aegis.
A great defensive option with good close combat options as well as a ranged throw to bounce between multiple enemies.
Varatha.
The long-ranged pokey stick with an exceptional dash strike and potential to shred through enemies. A personal favorite.
Malphon.
These fists are for those looking to combo their foes to high heaven as long as they're comfortable getting in close and personal with the dangers of the underworld.
Exogryph.
Is that a gun? You also have access to a dash which lets you dodge and make certain attacks as well as a ranged cast attack. Now you aren't alone in your quest as the gods of Olympus have decided you're their favorite relative and will grant you various boons. These can affect your attack, special, cast, and dash as well as giving you a call, which is a very powerful ability that uses a special gauge. Each time you come across a god, their boons are random, so sometimes the fishman might have gotten confused with what you actually wanted, so you just have to smile and nod and hope you can exchange it with cool cousin Athena later down the line. Boons also have levels and rarities, which tells you how powerful they are. You may also find Daedalus hammers, which lets you change your weapon's properties, such as its attack pattern or special skill. You can also come across Charon's shop as you travel, and he can sell you healing items as well as any item you would normally find for a small fee. There are some other dwellers who can give you a helping hand if you pester them enough.
So this is all well and good, but what about the other part of roguelikes? You know, dying over and over and over again?
That's a very good question, but more importantly, how did you get in here?
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to, Eb.
My intruder alarm must be on the fritz. One moment, please.
As Dark said though, yes, death is just as big a part of this game as the combat and godly relatives. Healing is very scarce and enemies only get tougher, so dying is something you'll be doing a lot. Every time you die, you get sent back to Hades' house and can talk with the residents, spend treasure to build new facilities, equip a different weapon, and use darkness to give yourself permanent buffs. You lose all the boons you acquired and have to gather new ones once you start again. If you've given some nectar to someone, they will give you a special keepsake which you can equip to gain certain benefits. If you're really struggling and just want to go through the story and look at all the pretty people, you can toggle on God mode, which gives you a boost in defense, and each death increases this boost. I actually really love this, especially since you can turn it on and off whenever, so you can use it as much or as little as you want. On the flip side, there's also Hell mode, which, well, makes the game much harder. Overall, the combat is solid, and finding a good setup to destroy all who get in your way is incredibly satisfying. It's a great time, and the roguelike gameplay interweaves with the story in an amazing way.
Why, hello there, little godling. I have to say you're quite the specimen, and so I've decided I shall aid you for the moment. You interested?
So the game looks absolutely phenomenal, from the character portraits to the lovingly crafted levels. Supergiant has always been amazing with their art direction, and Hades is no different. Everything has this very painterly look to it. One of the big draws of this game has been the character designs, because everyone is extremely hot, and I
Oh, not this again.
Zagreus' duality from his parents is portrayed perfectly in his design. You can tell he has a very confident nature about him just from looking at him. The Olympus and Chthonic gods all reflect their domains, such as Nyx's knightly beauty to Dionysus' carefree and flowing spirit. The simpler 3D graphics work wonders in keeping everything cohesive. It's also appreciated since there can be a whole heck of a lot on screen at one time. Each area and location is also memorable, from the sickly green flames of Tartarus to the luscious gardens of Elysium. It's the attention to detail that truly makes the difference, like the flaming footsteps trailing Zagreus or the battle damage in an area after a big fight. And of course, the animations are slick, stylish, and grand, from all the various weapon attacks to the over-the-top effects. Moving on from the visual side of things, the voice acting is fantastic. Zagreus is voiced by Darren Korb and nails the prince's cool, calm, and slightly cocky attitude.
Enjoy it, Charon, mate. Don't go thinking I'm just being kind to get you to lower your prices for me. That would be unconscionable.
Darren also voices Skelly and was the composer for the game's soundtrack, so he's just talented all round.
Avalon Penrose's performance as Megara is my favorite. Her extremely soft, whispery way of speaking while also being an imposing force is incredible.
Your father sent me. All in all, I'd rather be on your bad side than his. Now you can turn back like a good little man, or I can send you home the painful way. What'll it be?
I could honestly gush over all the voice actors, but we'll be here all day, so just know that if a character has a voice, it's amazing, and you just have to trust us on that. The effects used on some of the characters can really give them some haunting vibes.
Do you know how to do those effects?
I don't know, I guess we'll see when the video is released if I have or not. The soundtrack has very quickly become one of my favorites from this year. Darren has done such an incredible job at making some epic boss battle music, as well as utilizing a mix of lovely acoustic instruments and eerie rock vibes. A lot of tracks start with a calmer tone as you explore, but ramp up the intensity once you get into the thick of battle. Out of Tartarus is a great track that encapsulates the atmosphere of the game perfectly. Mouth of Styx is creepy and glorious with its droning background noise and plucky guitar that also transforms into a more heavy rock version.
I don't think we can talk about the music without saying anything about Good Riddance. Ashley Barrett's vocal performance is amazing.
Yes, Good Riddance has taken permanent place in my brain. It's an absolutely beautiful song. Overall, Supergiant knows how to make a pretty and musically satisfying game.
Hey, what's that you're drinking, Meg? Anything good?
Whatever it is, it's weak. Enough to be mistaken for your blood.
Nice. Well, I'll just leave you to it then.
Hades is an exceptional title that I have fallen in love with. The fun, addicting gameplay, amazingly well-written characters and story, coupled with the gorgeous art and remarkable soundtrack, make this a great package overall. As someone who's played a lot of roguelikes this year, Hades stands far above the rest with its great level of polish. If it wasn't obvious from the start, I highly recommend you check out Hades. The game is available on PC, Mac, and the Nintendo Switch. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment on your thoughts. I hope you have an amazing day filled with hot deities.